Okay, I'm live. Hey everybody, it's Dr. Darya Ghafourpour, live again, Friday Night Live. Thank you for joining me. I'm at another workshop. I do these every now and then. I'm attending, I'm not giving the workshop. And they always manage to be life-changing for me in one way or another. I kind of get a perspective shift, from my everyday life, which is never boring. There's never a dull moment, it seems, in my life, and I like it that way. It's been yet another just really inspirational gathering, and one where I've just made some amazing friendships and connections, and some of them over the last year or so. And that's been super meaningful and really fun. It's good to meet up with old friends again, and some new friends as well. And I thought I would kind of report to you a little bit about the effect of these videos that I've been doing. So many of you who know me know that I've been super duper resistant to being on the internet in one form or another. It doesn't mean I'm not doing it, but I don't know, it's definitely out of my comfort zone. So here I am doing live videos, and then afterwards I'm saving them and I'm posting them to YouTube. So I started doing that not too long ago. And then people seem to be accidentally finding me, my videos, and that's fine. So I'm not making a concerted effort, to put myself out there so much to too many people, more just like my tribe and then that extension of my tribe, or the people who are connected with me already, you could say. And so now I mentioned, sorry, I'm not using my tripod, I'm using my selfie stick. Honest to God, I've only used it a few times, and I guess you can tell. So I wanted to talk about the ripple effect. It seems to be a theme for me to take notice of this. And what I mean by that is, you can think about if you were to toss a stone or toss a rock in the water, and it doesn't just drop to the bottom without having an effect. And you see the ripples of the water, circles around that stone, and they extend outward, outward, outward. And so that rock hasn't just touched that one spot of water and landed someplace. It's having an extended contact with the elements, with anything else that's out there, living or not. And so what I have become aware of is the ripple effect of these live videos that I've been doing. And I mentioned one or two times ago that I really have been enjoying myself doing it. It's been fun for me. And it's something that I don't think that I've mentioned this part either, but I have been noticing that it's important for me to not just hear my own message. It just comes from somewhere. It's just blah, 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 blah. And there it is. And I go, oh, that was cool. And then I listen to it, I go, wow, that was good. Like, I like that message. As if it didn't come from me, right? So I like that message. And then I think about it a little bit more, and I'm like, I'm responsible for living up to that message. Like, now that I've put it out there for so many of you to see, and it's there, it's online, so many more people are going to continue seeing that, and people I don't know even necessarily, but through that ripple effect, others become affected. And unless someone comments and lets me know what they're thinking or feeling, or how the message has affected them, well, I'm not aware of the effect. And so here I am among a group of hundreds of people, and turns out that many people have seen my videos and I haven't been aware of that. And so they'll approach me and they'll be like, I love your videos. And I'll go, oh, thank you so much. Like, that makes me feel good, right? But then I ask, well, what is it that you loved about it? Because that affects me too. And I'm interested to know about what's going on in other people's worlds, And so I will hear messages, oh, I implemented what you were talking about in my office, in ways that I communicate with my patients, or in ways that that having just even a light touch, you can have a soft touch a soft physical touch with someone, and that not be intrusive or offensive, but meaningful and gentle and kind, and just letting someone know that you're here, you're present with them. And someone else said that they became inspired to go ahead and do some videos because they wanted to share their message as well. And so I love that's like an extended ripple effect. So I don't know whose lives that person is going to touch and in what way. And my point of all of this in speaking about a ripple effect is that when we think about the effect that our everyday actions in our lives have in ways that we're not even aware of, it makes me feel a bit more in tune with and responsible for my words, let's say. That's just as an example, you know. So I know that the words that I'm using are going to touch someone's life in one way or another, and it might not be that person's life whom I'm speaking with. It could be that a contact, that their outlook on life, and so hopefully in a positive way, they were able to have a better interaction, which would improve their relationship with somebody else. And so the message that I'm giving now is a request, basically, and a challenge to for you to look in your life to see what might you be able to alter, and what might you be able to consciously put out there towards other people. And it could be in any form. Like I said, it could be in a conversation with someone. It could be in your daily work. It could be through sending a card to someone. It could be through writing an email or making a telephone call, something that you might take for granted and realize that maybe you really are brightening someone else's day. And how great can that be? And whose day might they brighten because you brightened theirs? And so I just ask you to think about that, and maybe come up with some ways that you might do something a little bit differently today or tonight or tomorrow. And it could just be one thing. It doesn't have to be anything big or major, but just one thing. Maybe intentionally smile at someone that you might otherwise look away from because your life wouldn't normally connect with theirs. But what would it take to just step aside and just really give someone a nod or a smile and tell them to have a good day, wish them to have a good day. These things don't cost anything, and they really help spread that connection of goodwill around us. And I'm a strong believer that makes a big difference. And that's part of what, other than the content that I've been learning here at my workshop, which stems a lot around communication. And so other than that, for me, so much has to do with my contact with people, and that means a lot to me. I feel it, when I have a contact, a connection with someone. Maybe it's only a few moments, but I'll think about it later, and it feels good to reflect on that. And I feel like not only it's not all about me, right? It's not just that I'm having hopefully a positive effect on someone, but I feel their intention to me too, and their connection with me helps lift me up as well. And I wanted to connect that. Bear with me here. I wanted to connect that with a story that has held with me for many years. So not all of you know this, but I decided early that I wanted to become a dentist. So I was a teenager. I was 14 years old when I decided I wanted to become a dentist. That might be another video at some other point. And so I'm making a point right now, right, about that connection that you have with other people and an extended ripple effect, and how you can impact their lives and how do they impact yours. But I don't want to mean that it doesn't have anything to do with like we're all autonomous. We are all our own human beings, and we have our own decisions and choices to make, and we can choose to take something in a positive way, or we can choose to take something in a negative way, or in a neutral way, or somewhere in between. That's all our choice. It's how we interpret an action or an event is up to us. It's a conscious choice. We might get reactionary at first, but then we can pull back and take a breath and think about what just happened. and we can decide what reality we live in with regard to the event that happened. So my point is, with this story, is that when I was a teenager, I was at the dentist, and all that I remember about him, I think he was kind of balding a little bit, and he was really grumpy. I guess he was a nice guy. I wouldn't know, because it was just very matter of fact. I went to the dentist and had my appointment there, and somehow my mom took care of the billing or something, and then I went back home, and maybe I went from school to the dentist and went back home, and I remember, and he had a real small office, and it was like, it seemed dark. I know there were windows, but it seemed dark. So the painting was probably dark in the office, and it was very small. The hallways were very small, and it was just him, and he had an assistant. And this one assistant did everything for him. So it was just the two of them in this small space. And I remember him just sitting there with me and he's going, I don't know why you want to become a dentist. And I was like, oh. He was like, why do you want to become a dentist? And I was like, I think it would be great. I want to be a doctor and I want to help people. And he's like, but you got to pay all these bills. I got to pay for PG&E. I got to pay the rent. And he goes, and I got to pay her. And he made reference to his assistant like that. I got to pay her. And he wasn't joking, like he was really disrespectful in the way that, he wasn't even thinking that he was helping the livelihood of another person and her family, He's like, this is trouble, I got to pay her. And he actually passed away like in his mid-50s. He wasn't a very happy person from my recollection, because that interaction has stayed with me. And I was in high school at that time. Something in me knew, okay, whatever, like, I'm sorry that this guy doesn't seem very happy, but I'm going to become a dentist. Like, it didn't sway me, and later on in my adult life, I was thinking about that, just going, wow, I'm really kind of impressed that I didn't let that stop me from becoming a dentist. Like, somehow I had a filter, and I understood that that was his perspective, and his life didn't seem great. He didn't seem super happy. At least what he shared with me, that stood with me, didn't feel very happy, but it didn't make me unhappy, and it didn't make me doubt my decision to become a dentist. I just knew, well, don't ask him for advice. They found other dentists, other people that I would, ask for advice and support, and because I knew that I had a dream and that's what I wanted to do. So, that extended point is that, yes, we have a ripple effect, and we have our own ability to discern the meaning of those ripples that are coming towards us, and we have the ability to shift and shape our response and create our own reality and our own way of interacting, our own ripples that can interact with these ripples, and look what we can manifest and create. Right, so I think that I've kind of said enough, and apologize, it seems like my hand was this little selfie guy is getting a little bit heavy there. So I think I've had enough. I'm going to go down and meet the others again. I guess we're just kind of party people, but really we're just super happy and inspired and excited to be around other entrepreneurs who are super excited and inspired to be here and to meet up with each other and to help influence each other's lives in a really positive way. So thank you for joining me and for tuning in and staying with me. And if you weren't able to listen to the whole thing, I hope you're chiming in at another time. And not quite sure when I'm going to be able to post this to YouTube, just because of the way my schedule is right now, but you can find it here, and please spread the word. Again, I know I kind of end my videos this way, but each week I see that more and more people are joining me and sharing with their friends the messages that they get here. So I hope you'll do the same. If you haven't already, please like this page, and soon enough you'll find I'm going to create a different website that's going to be kind of like a video blog site. Yeah, so those are some of the things that I'm learning here, and so you'll start seeing some things shift and change, and yeah, that'll be fun. One more element to my non-boring and exciting life. Happy Friday, you guys. Have a really super great weekend, and look forward to seeing you next week. Bye.